I sometimes watch people sleep because I'm scared they're gonna die. Hey guys, I'm Lisa eftimescu. I'm the host of the Under the Spotlight podcast, and welcome back. And I'm so excited to be back again, talking about more stuff with you guys. Random things as always, because God forbid I would try to stick to a topic. But yeah, how have you guys been? It feels like forever since I recorded a podcast episode, even though it's been like a week. I'm also fully recording this on Tuesday and it has to go up tomorrow. So tonight is gonna be really fun for me. I really need to get back to being like at least an episode ahead, because this is not good. I'm doing this every week where I edit my podcast either Monday and Tuesday night or just Tuesday night, and my sleep is bad. Though last night I actually went to bed at like 11, got a really good night's sleep. I feel like when I'm getting a really good night's sleep, I just get so many dreams. And apparently REM is the most relaxed stage of sleep. So I guess it means I'm relaxed. But oh my god, I had some weird dreams last night. Like I had one where there's this baby and like I was sort of the mom, but not really. And then there was a dad. So I would switch from being the mom and being kind of like just fly on the wall watching it or whatever. They decided to poison the baby and they unalived the baby. Or was it, maybe it wasn't a baby. Maybe it was like a person, like a grown woman or a child. I don't know, because then I found out the way they did it, but like afterwards, like I rewatched it and my sister was like, no, it was so obvious she was gonna die. And I was like, no, it wasn't. Apparently, like, in part of the scenes she was in, it was just the mom being like, she's alive, and she was slowly fading away. I don't know, very strange dream. But yeah, then I saw how they poisoned her, and they put, like, black powder in her wine glass. That was weird. And then I had a dream that I met Louis Tomlinson, which I don't really listen to his music, so I don't have opinions for or against it, but my roommate loves One Direction and I love One Direction too, loves One Direction and Louis Tomlinson and Harry and Niall and all of them. So in the dream, I was trying to get an autograph for her, and he was like, yeah, of course I'll give you an autograph. I was telling her what a big fan she is. At one point, he's like, oh, I quickly need to go do this, so he like walks off. Then he comes back and like a bit later, and then he's like, oh, I need to give something to my grandma or find my grandma or something. It was weird. And then he walks off, and then he comes back again, and I'm like, oh, can you sign this for me? Oh, and I yanked like a blank piece of paper out of my notebook, and in that notebook I found homework I hadn't done. And then he was like, I'm sorry, no, I can't sign this for you, it's too weird. He was like, you're being too weird. So yeah, that's how I failed to get her signature. Anyway, I have some weird dreams. I really fully forgot about this, but at one point I made a Twitter account just to post weird dreams. I posted 3 of them and then I stopped. But I think I could bring it back, but just do it on TikTok or on here. I don't know if you guys are interested in that. I have some weird, like very vivid dreams, and I tend to remember my dreams. Not all of them, but like one a night or something, unless I've had really little sleep. So not all the time. In one of the posts actually that I saw when I rediscovered that Twitter account, I haven't seen, like I literally fully forgot I did it, but now it seems vaguely familiar, is apparently I had a dream that my grandfather was a bee. He was like a huge life-sized bee. So we kept him outside the house because he couldn't be in the house. I don't know. Couldn't fit in the house. Was a bee, so he wasn't allowed in the house. I don't know why we kept him outside of the house, but we did. And then he was too warm, so then we went outside and we sprayed him with water from a hose. I don't remember dreaming this dream, but it does sound like something I would dream. Anyway, enough about dreams. Very silly things going on in that brain of mine. They make no sense. Oh my god, one of the things I want to talk about in my new series called Things I'm Mad About Today, which I have topics for later. But one of the things I'm actually mad about today, I talk about in that series how I'm so mad that so many movies don't have subtitles in them, and it like just blatantly ignores basically the access needs of at least thousands, if not, across the globe, hundreds of thousands or even millions, and how that really pissed me off. It's just not fair. And like subtitles, even like for me, I've realized I have so much trouble focusing on plays when I watch them, and like I get so distracted, zone out, even if I'm interested in it. Part of the reason for that is like there's no subtitles, so like for some reason the subtitles just help me focus. So it's not even like just a hard of hearing thing. I get that some people won't like subtitles, but then I feel like there should be a minority of movies where there aren't subtitles, or at least it should be split 50-50, but it's not. It really isn't. Like usually movies with subtitles, if they're there at all, are like in the morning during the week or at like inconvenient times, and you shouldn't know, like, in order to be able to watch a movie at all, I have to go to the cinema on a Tuesday morning. That's not fair. I got some interesting comments. It was nice when I posted on TikTok. Most people were really supportive, but when I posted on a YouTube short, people were less so, and it pissed me off, so I'm gonna read them out. I'm not gonna say who commented it, but someone wrote, "Don't go to the movies then, or just watch without sound." I don't even know what to respond to that other than like, what the hell? What? obviously it's not like a human right or anything, but like everyone should be able to go to the movies and enjoy a movie, even if you can't hear. And then if you can't hear to understand the movie, you need subtitles. Like, it's just rude. Makes me, like, yesterday I saw it, and yesterday I was already not having a good day. I was like, no. Oh my god, crazy. And then someone else wrote, just like there's time for the movies to play, there's time for the subtitle movies to play. It's not like there's not subtitles at the movies, maybe do some research. I think I even said that. I know there's times where movies with subtitles play. It's just way too uncommon, and it shouldn't be at the, like, worst times or the off-peak times just to not bother everyone else. But, like, not that many people are bothered by the general response. But also, people just have access needs that should be met regardless of what time they go to see the show, and it shouldn't have to be this specific. Like, I get if they want to split it 50-50. I think it should be at most movies you have subtitles, but that's my personal opinion. If they want to split it 50-50, that's fine. Like, I remember when I watched Oppenheimer, I want to rewatch Oppenheimer just because when I watched it in cinemas, I missed half of it because I didn't get what they were saying. And, like, I still got the plot of the movie, but I'd be so interested in what they were actually saying. And then someone else wrote that this just didn't make me mad because they were actually trying to, like, provide a solution, and they said that there should be 2 auditoriums or playing the same movie. One has, at the same time, same price, but one has subtitles. And I get that point, but that's, like, I think for the cinema it would probably be financially inconvenient because they're doing twice as much, but they're not going to get, like, twice as many people seeing the movie. Like, half of the people will go to the version with subtitles and half of the people will go to the version without, so it'll be split, but more work because they have another whole room to play it at and whatever. In an ideal world, yeah, but I don't know if that would be a feasible solution. It's that kind of thing of, like, my dad always said this to me. We would go skiing, still go skiing, love skiing, and he said, when you're on a ski lift, the ones that are, like, open, not like a gondola, a lot of the ski lifts have, like, an extra thing that you can put on top if it's cold to protect you against wind and cold and stuff. And he always said, there's 4 people, one person is cold, you put the thing down, even if the others are warm, because you don't want that person who's cold to get sick, even if it's just one person. Because there are people, they can survive being a little bit too warm or whatever, having it be a little bit stuffy. Obviously, like, if you really need there, then get there or whatever. But the point of that is, even if fewer people need, not want is different, you have to agree, but need something specific, because they need it, you should be meeting those needs, especially when it doesn't really affect or inconvenience you that much. Like, being slightly stuffy or warm is not gonna inconvenience me the same way being too cold can make someone sick or just miserable. So you go with what they need. I love using that analogy because it's literally just about being kind of having some basic decency as a human being. I think that should apply to cinemas as well. I'm done talking about that, but it pissed me off. People are being kind of ignorant, if nothing else. Anyway, I haven't deleted the comments if you want to go watch them and start shit for me. I've been really liking recently watching TikToks of conversation starters, but they're like weird ones. So I thought I could talk about a couple of them on the podcast and then you guys can comment your thoughts. One of them was, if a witch was trying to summon you with like a pentagram or whatever. It was a pentagram, they said 3. What are 3 items she would use to summon you? I feel like it should be 5 items because it's a pentagram, but I guess that's demons. I don't know. Anyway, oh yeah, witches cast spells. That could be 3 items. Never mind. What are the 3 items? Now we can go deep on this and be like, happiness, love, a boyfriend, whatever. My family lives forever. But I feel like that's boring, so we're gonna do like more materialistic things instead. Well, I guess that if you want to do the deep route, that'll show you people's priorities. It's a good conversation starter if you're trying to get to know someone. But I don't feel like we'll do the silly, goofy, fun route. Comment down below what you think the 3 objects would be for you. For me, I think it would be acting fame. Yeah, no. I mean, not that it wouldn't, because it would be. Oh, lasagna. Honestly, most sweet treats. Anything my grandma's cooked. Romanian food is just elite. Oh, and I'm so jealous. My sister has these 2 friends that are Romanian at uni, even though she's in the Netherlands and I don't. And sometimes her Romanian friends give her Romanian food. And it's okay. I'm going home. This is my last week of uni this week before Easter, and then I have 3 weeks off for Easter. And for 1.5 of those weeks, I'm going home to Romania to visit my family. I'm gonna do a podcast episode in Romania. That doesn't change anything except the location I film at, and probably the video quality. The lighting quality, because I won't have my beautiful mirror. Really, really excited to see my family. Oh my god, my grandparents celebrated their 60-year wedding anniversary last week. We're gonna celebrate like fully with them when we're there next week, which I'm so excited for. They're just the sweetest, most incredible, adoring, loving, adorable couple. I've told their how they met story before on the podcast, so I won't say it again, but they're so sweet. They've been married for forever and they just love each other so much. And I even told them, like, if I find love like your guys is one day. That's all I want. I'll be so happy. I spent half the day like crying because I was just so happy for them and for their gift. I should have already done this, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get it done this week. I'm gonna translate the song Timeless by Taylor Swift. It's one of my favorite songs when it came out last year. I just listened to it in the car and bawled my eyes out because I love them so much. And it's kind of like about love being timeless and just like finding each other across time and love that goes beyond any barriers or whatever. It's just, it's a great song and it reminds me of them. So I'm gonna translate it for them into Romanian. I really have to do that. I've been procrastinating. I've had this idea for forever. I really should have already done it, but I haven't. Anyway, what would a witch use to summon me? Honestly, my fluffy blanket or my hoodie. Oh my god. Guys, if you do not have an hoodie and you live anywhere cold, like get one. It's basically like a blanket hoodie, but like oversized, and it keeps you warm in the winter, and it is so lovely. I remember I visited my sister for a week in February and I missed my hoodie so much. I love it. So soft, so fluffy. So yeah, my hoodie or my blanket. You could definitely use that to summon me. What else? I'm trying to think. So food, any food. Let's be real, my phone or my laptop or a book. Any food, good dessert especially, or like lasagna, pasta. My grandma's chicken noodle soup. My grandma makes such amazing food. Oh, my grandma's hummus. What I always just like most is chicken noodle soup. And I don't even like soup. Oh, I didn't even discuss this last week. I just posted a TikTok about it. One of the weird things about me is I hate the feeling of warm liquid going down my throat, which is why I don't like hot drinks. I don't like soup, except tomato soup and chicken noodle soup from my grandma. Like, I don't like the feeling of it all like down my esophagus and everything feeling warm. It's just, ugh. Grosses me out. That's why even when I eat like warm meals, I have to have cold water next to me and I'll be drinking water the whole time because it's just too much. I can't take it. I hate it. I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, anyway, comment here what a witch could use to summon you. And then another one was, what is your serial killer trait and then your off-brand trait? I feel like serial killer trait is self-explanatory, but your off-brand trait would be something like people just don't expect you to think or do or whatever. My serial killer trait, well, I sometimes watch people sleep because I'm scared they're gonna die. Sometimes it'll be if they've had a little too much to drink and then they were throwing up. And then I'm scared they're gonna choke on their vomit in the night, so I watch them sleep. To be fair, I'm not like watching them sleep like a creep. I'll usually be on my phone or usually reading, but like I won't go to bed. Like I physically can't go to bed. I have to make sure, because it's not even like that I really think they'll die, but like I can't live with the idea of like, what if they did and I could have saved them if I just stayed up and made sure they weren't choking. So that might just be my serial killer trait. I also remember really specific like facts. Like I know the date one of my best friends and I met, August 22nd, 2011. That was a really long time ago, so the fact that I remember that is a little insane. To be fair, it was the first day of school, and the reason I remember the first day of school is I can't even actually explain that. My brain has very connective memory, so I remembered that because it was the first day of school, and the first day of school was August 22nd, 2011, because I started school in 2011, and we used to always start on August 22nd. We don't anymore. Well, I don't go there anymore anyway. My off-brand trait, honestly, I don't know. If I'm like back home and like the way people at my high school knew me and stuff, it would be just acting and everything, because a lot of people thought I was a nerd, which to be fair, I did do well in school. I didn't study a lot to figure I'm such a procrastinator, but I did just work hard in my classes. So I get where they're coming from. There's just so much more to me, which always pissed me off in school, which now like I don't care, whatever, think what you want of me. We're not in high school anymore. That people didn't see past like the smart academic achiever in me, or they didn't want to, if we're being realistic. And I was very generalized to that when that really wasn't me, and that's way more other people at my school even than me. So that's kind of my off-brand trait there. My off-brand trait here, I don't know what my off-brand trait really is, but I guess that's what people would assume it is, which I guess is the point. Then another question is, what 5 countries would you consider moving to? 5 countries is a lot of options, but I stress out about what country I'm going to live in when I grow up all the time anyways. So I'll go through the list and also talk about that. Because, for example, I'm Romanian, so I'd love to live in Romania because a lot of my family is still there. My parents aren't right now, but I bet I can move back. My dad's actually watching this. It was so sweet. He called me the other day and he said that he wants another episode. And I was like, oh, you'll have to wait till Wednesday. Hopefully if I get this up on time. But I lost my train of thought. Well, what was I saying? Oh, hi, Papa. I bet I could convince my parents, to move back to Romania. Especially if I was moving there, right? And the weather's better there than in Germany. They should really want to move back once they retire and stuff. Romania would definitely be an option. That stresses me out. Then I want to move there. Then an option could be Germany, though I don't think my parents want to retire in Germany because they do want the sunnier weather once they retire. So then maybe Germany, and I do speak German and I have a German passport, so that helps. But if my parents aren't even going to be there, then like the incentive does like kind of go away. Unless my sister's there. There's too many factors to consider. So I don't know, maybe Germany. The UK, obviously, because I live there, but I guess that doesn't count because I live here. So, though I technically don't, I'm here for uni. Does that count as living here? I don't know. It is an option though, because like for my career in acting and stuff, because I want to do all that in English, like I feel like the UK is a good viable option, because then another option is obviously the US, but the US is so far away. It'd be so far from my family. Also in terms of like politics and stuff, I just don't know if I really want to raise kids there, which I know that's so far away in the future. And I could live there for, I don't know, 10 years and then move back to Europe and then move back to Europe once I have kids. And I know it's not that deep and I don't have to be thinking about it right now because I'm 19 and who knows where life is going to take me. It stresses me out to think about. So I do think about it. I'd love to live in Italy just because it's so beautiful and sunny there. That could be fun. I could live on like the Maldives or something, or like Hawaii or Bora Bora, just like a tropical island, and just swim every day. It could be fun. Last question, what reality TV show would you be on? Now, I gotta be honest, I'm not a huge reality TV girly. That said, if one day I'm a broke actor, I'm on a reality TV show, I've always wanted to do this my whole life, and I've been looking forward to it forever. I haven't watched very many, and I don't think I would do well on one of the love shows because I think I would just, like, I'm too sensitive, I would cry, I'd be too naive about it too. I feel like in the confessionals or something, they'd like trick me into saying something, or like, I don't know, I'd say something one way and then it would be edited or taken a completely different way. I'd cry about the drama. I'd get pissed off at the drama, honestly. So yeah, that's all to say. I don't think I would do well on reality TV. But what my friends and I did recently watch is The Traitors. There's like a US version, a UK version, an Australian version. We watched the UK version and it's actually really, we watched the UK version and I actually really liked it. It's basically like a big game of, you know, the game Werewolf, where you kind of like, you all go to sleep and there's people in the town who unalive, or not people, werewolves, who unalive some of the villagers, but you don't know who they are. They're like living among you or whatever, among us. You have to figure out who they are. So basically that's the premise of the show, but they're called like traitors, and every day at night they unalive someone, and then at the end of the day everyone votes for who they think the traitor is, and then they get voted off the show, but there's multiple traitors usually. Very intense. Good show. I think I would do a horrible job because I'm not a good liar. Good actor, but not a good liar. But yeah, I just think I would be anxious and nervous the whole time, and like if I was a traitor, I just wouldn't do a good job of it. If I was a faithful, I would try to figure out who everyone is, but I feel like, I don't know, I would get voted off, or I don't know if I could do a good job of it, because I feel like if I went on the show, I'd kind of want to be a traitor, but at the same time, I kind of don't. I don't know. Or I'd just be one of the randoms that gets voted off right at the beginning. Like, I can't see myself having big success on the show, but that's okay. Oh my god, speaking of Among Us, they should make a real life Among Us TV show. Once I was babysitting these kids and we played Among Us. I don't think I took their phones away, but I was like, let's all put our phones away. They're not supposed to be on their phones, okay? And I was like, let's play a game. And then we were like, oh my god, let's play real life Among Us. We wrote down these tasks on pieces of paper, and everyone was given like 2 pieces of paper. We wrote down like steward, and imposter on all of them, and then we were like running around the house, and you'd have to like literally sometimes just like stack cups, or you'd have to, I don't know, make the bed, or honestly usually it was something easier than that. And the imposter would get them too, because obviously they were trying to like hide that they were the imposter, and then they could go around and kill everyone. It was actually really fun. Highly recommend if you're looking for an activity to do with kids you're babysitting, or your kids, or nieces, nephews, little kids, whatever. It's really fun and it gets them engaged, and they didn't want to be on their phones then. Oh my god, speaking of babysitting stories though, I could tell some babysitting stories. I mean, I've had kids go off on me. To be fair, never the kids I babysat, but once I was babysitting the same kids actually, and there's 2 of them, and then sometimes there'd be 4 of them, and then one of them also had like this friend who was just this awful spoiled kid, who I was then like, I'm not babysitting again, I'll babysit all the rest of them. I don't mind like babysitting the 4 of them together. 4 kids is a lot, but like they were older, so it was like fine. I was like, I'll do it, but I don't want to babysit. I don't want to see him ever again. He was such a jerk, and he like just threw a huge tantrum. At one point I took all their phones away because I had to. We were a huge fit about it. Someone's phone got cracked, I think, or just thrown across a field. Temper tantrums, it was a nightmare. So bad, they were like calling the parents. I was like, I don't know what to do, stop it. He was so awful. He would like yell at me. He was so entitled. But yeah, all the kids that were actually like my kids I babysat were lovely. There's some kids I was babysitting / teaching English because I lived in Germany, so they were gonna go to England for a bit and they wanted to learn some English. So we would just play games and hang out, but also learn English at the same time, and it was really fun. They were really sweet. And then I once babysitted 3 kids, and they were guys, and they were actually also really sweet and fun with them. playing with them. They were from like age 3 to 9, I think. One was age 3, one was age 6, one was age 9, something like that. And they were sweet to babysit. It was fun, but oh my god. One time, I'd put them all to bed, whatever, they like were all falling asleep. I'd read them a book, blah, 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 blah. Then they went to sleep. 2 of them actually decided to sleep in one bed. It wasn't even like a twin bed. It was a kid bed, like a tiny little bed. And they decided to sleep. So one was sleeping like head to toe, and then the other one was sleeping head to toe the other way. One kid's head was next to the other kid's feet, and vice versa. They were really cute. Then the 6-year-old got up in the middle of the night. It wasn't even the middle of the night. It was like probably 10 p.m. I think I made them dinner, put them to bed, and then obviously was going to stay till the parents came back. So then I had put them to bed, and then it was like 10 p.m. I hear a commotion from upstairs. I go upstairs to see what's going on because the kids were all, to my knowledge, sleeping. And I see that the 6-year-old had gotten out of bed and was peeing in the hallway. And I think I scared him when I came upstairs. I didn't even get mad at him, honestly. And basically, to pee in the hallway where he was peeing, he had to walk out of his room, or I think it was his brother's room, past the bathroom, and just like down the hallway. But he had managed to pull down his pants. So he didn't actually like wet himself. He just peed on the floor. So I sent him back to bed. I like made sure he was all dry, all good, whatever. Sent him back to bed, cleaned it up, and it was fine. No drama. Was it a bit annoying? Yes, but it was just fine. I dealt with it. So yeah, I can't figure out if he did that intentionally or if he was just sleepwalking. I honestly think he was just like sleepwalking or was confused because he was sleepy and it was nighttime and whatever. I don't think he did it intentionally. Had some interesting things happen while babysitting. I did have some lovely, lovely kids in my babysitting era, which honestly I miss sometimes because I love little kids. I love spending time with them. It was really nice. I did it for like a year and then I had to stop because I had so much to do for school. I think today is fully just an episode of random things I've been wanting to talk about that I have written down because that's what it is. There's so many culture shocks I have having moved here from Europe, which I could probably make a full episode on, but I thought I'd touch on today. Because one of the things I do not understand is I don't know what I'm supposed to respond when people say, "You all right?" Because it's not like, "Oh, how are you?" It's like a greeting. Like they say it instead of just saying hello. Just say hello, say hey, say hi, say anything except "you all right?" Because then I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm all right. I'm answering your question. And then someone told me it's the equivalent to what's up. But even if someone says what's up in the US, I'm gonna say nothing much or I'm good or something like that. Like I'm not just gonna say hey. So I'm never like I don't know if I'm supposed if I don't know if people say you all right if I'm supposed to say yes, because that is my instinct. Someone's like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm great." Or if I'm supposed to be like, "Hey, you all right?" Or I don't know, but it stresses me out. Even when I ask people about it, they can't explain it, or they can, but like I still don't get it. I think it's such a weird thing to say. Why? Just say hey. When I first moved here, I really, really struggled with British sarcasm. I think I still do with British sarcasm and British humor. Like humor. I don't always like know what's going on or whatever, but I think because I realized I was really struggling with it at the beginning, and then all of a sudden I realized I wasn't really thinking about it as much anymore, so I think I'm getting it more now. British humor is still weird, but the sarcasm I think I get. Also, like I am a sarcastic person, but my sarcasm is like obvious, where I'm like on a hinge. Someone asked me the other day, like, "Do you like baking?" After we were talking about how I make really good chocolate chip cookies, and I'm like, "No, I got held at gunpoint while I perfected my cookie recipe." Right? Sarcasm. But if I was saying that, I wouldn't be like, "No, I got held at gunpoint while perfecting my cookie recipe." I'd be like, "No." Okay, that's really dramatic, but I'd be like, "No, I got held at gunpoint perfecting my..." Like I'd change my tone or my voice to show I was being sarcastic. And apparently English people say they do, or British people, but like maybe I just couldn't notice before and now I can. Now I can like notice British sarcasm more, but I stand by it's weird. And I feel like people like my age, I get most of their humor and stuff when it's British humor, but like I think with older people and like older jokes or whatever, I'd probably still just be really confused. Something else I didn't fully understand, but also that just bothered me when I moved here was the fact that they end all their messages with X. To be honest, I just think it's kind of dumb. To be fair, I don't end all, but some of my messages I'll end either with lol or with an emoji, or like my messages sometimes I will end with an emoji or an X, not an X, never an X, except sarcastic. I'll put it in quotation marks and be like XXX. I'll end it with an emoji or an LOL or a ha 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 or something, so people know I'm not mad at them because I'm scared of my messages sounding too aggressive. That's how it's been explained to me. That's why they do it. Or it's like XOXO, but when they put it on all their messages, it just sounds disingenuous. Also, the switches for everything Why? I don't understand why I'm turning a switch on to turn my stove on or my oven on. I get here that, like, we always have it turned off to save energy. Back home, if it's just not, like, if you don't turn the knobs, then it's just off anyway, so then you don't need to also just turn it off manually or turn it off with a switch or turn off the electric connection to it just to save energy. That also feels weird to me. Like, it feels like an excessive step. And then one time, I literally thought that the hot water at our house was broken because my dad was visiting, so either he or I mistakenly turned off the fuse. It's labeled fuse. I don't know what that means. Switch downstairs in the kitchen, and it turned off our hot water. And for like a day and a half, I just thought we didn't have hot water anymore because something was broken. No, I just literally had turned off our fuse switch because at one point my roommate was like, yeah, always turn off all the switches to save electricity. So I turned off that switch and I didn't know I wasn't supposed to. Or like, imagine, I actually never do this, shockingly. I thought I'd do it all the time. But imagine if you think you're charging your phone overnight or something. I never charge my phone overnight actually because that over time like ruins your phone battery. But imagine if you think you're charging something overnight and then it's not charging because you didn't have it plugged in. Like, I feel like me plugging something into a socket should be enough of a sign. I want it to charge. Oh, and then your switch to your bathroom is also outside of the bathroom. I don't get that either. And then one of my roommates always turns off my other roommate's light when she's in the bathroom. And then when I'm home, I'm like halfway in between getting used to having the switch outside of the bathroom and halfway between being used to having it inside the bathroom, which at home it's inside the bathroom. So what I'll always end up doing is going into the bathroom and then reaching outside to turn the light on, but then it's not there because it's actually normal and inside the bathroom, but I get confused. And food-wise, two things I've actually gotten accustomed to now, but I thought were really weird when I first moved here, was one of them is there's calorie information everywhere. Like at Nando's, at most restaurants you go to, it'll say how many calories is in your food. And honestly, like, I don't need that. I don't need to be knowing how many calories I'm eating right now. Like, I get it, and some people need it, but I feel like it'd be smarter if that information was, like, available, but not, like, in your face. So, like, you could scan a QR code to see it, because I feel like that information, it can be really triggering to some people. And then they also always ask about your allergies, which I actually think is really nice, but is also a bit of a culture shock, because in Germany they just don't ask. Like, they're like, you're responsible for your own allergies, so if you tell them you have allergies, obviously they'll try to respect it, but they don't automatically ask, whereas here they always do. And even that, like, just surprised me when I was here. I think is a good thing. Anyway, that's it for today's podcast episode. I know it was a bit of a random and I just talk about random things, which is what I usually do, but usually at least there's a little bit of a topic. This time, just a slew of things. Yeah, I really enjoyed filming it. Oh my god, I forgot to do a thing I'm mad about today. What am I mad about today? Talking about UK culture shock, imperial system. No, I'm done with it. The imperial system, I think, it makes no sense. How many meters are in a kilometer? 1,000. How many centimeters are in a meter? 100. How many centimeters are in a kilometer? That's math I can do. I was just kidding. It's 100,000. It's so logical. It makes so much sense. Grams, kilos, milliliters, liters. It's just, it all makes so much sense. It's such a good system. It's logical and it's clear. It's easy to understand. And then you come here and everyone uses the imperial system. It's like, how tall am I? 5 feet. But also 4 inches. But also this many milli-inches. That's not a thing. But like, why is it 12 inches in a foot? And then 3 feet in a yard, and then however many yards in a mile, but it doesn't add up. It's so confusing, and it just doesn't make sense. I think it's even weirder that the Americans use it, because, like, you tried to escape oppression and, you know, the British Empire and whatever, but you still use their system. Why? I love living here. People are very nice, but just use the fucking metric system. Like, come on. It makes sense. It's easier too. Kids will probably do better in school. I could be wrong, but I think if you change away from the imperial system, the grades of your kids would probably go up and, like, improve because it's a more logical system to do math in and work in. Like, imagine doing fucking physics and you're using yards and then you have to convert from meters per second to kilometers per second, but you have to convert from inches per second to miles per second, and you can't just multiply by 1,000 or divide by 1,000. I don't understand physics anyway, but I think it's dumb. Anyway, as always, make sure you rate the podcast, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know all your answers to those icebreaker type things. And yeah, I'll see you back here every Wednesday for a new episode of the Under the Spotlight podcast. I'm your host, Lisa eftimescu. That was too professional. Okay, bye!